Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Let me know if everything's working okay. Streaming on the new computer. Got it all set up this weekend. Hopefully, it is working okay. Let me know. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Royal Palms. Good morning, John. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Kevin. Hope you had a good, great weekend too, Kevin. Good morning, Sterling. Thank you for putting in the spot gamma stuff for everyone. What else? Paul Tudor Jones sees massive rally before. What if we're already in the main? We could already be in that phase, even just based off this morning. I mean, everything, dollars up, gold, everything's up, yields are up. Every I think we're already in the mania phase. I think we're already in the blow off top area. How long it will last? Don't know yet. Good morning, OD Green. I mean, you got the stuff with AMD coming out. Sterling put some of it in here. See, here's the little. Now we're getting all these circular deals in AI and chips and everything else. You're getting all these circular deals. We touched on a couple weeks ago, but here's the thing with the final tranche vesting at a price of 600%. So now this is based off of the stock price. We're gonna pump the stock price for everything. So it's just getting into this again. It all feeds into the mania phase with circular deals. It was very similar to all the telecom deals at the end of the .com because we need infinite bandwidth for everything, and we'll sell you the well. You can't even afford all the telecom equipment. You'll just lease it back, and we'll do these circular deals with everything and this weird financing stuff until it all imploded. So, all right. So that's where we sit right now. Good morning, Anissa. Hello, Daniel. It is working, thank you. Looks and sounds good, thank you. Yeah, AMD to the moon. Again, these are warrants. It's just, oh boy. It's like people are priced as if the revenue's already booked. Okay, that's enough said. Yeah. Hello, Charles. We're at that stage of the market. AI triggered the weekly double bottom on the close on Friday. Well, there you go. All right, so what's coming up this week? Today, remember, government's still shut down too. Government's still shut down. Oh, we got 3 and 6 month bill auctions today. Tomorrow, I don't know if we're gonna get the red book tomorrow. Oh, we will get the red book. I don't know. I meant the. I was thinking something else. Sorry about that. We got Bostic and Bowman. Can we shut down the Fed? Can we just shut down the Fed? Maybe. How about we shut down the Fed? Oh, we got Moran speaking. Oh, good. Let's hear what he has to say. Cash carry. Consumer inflation expectations tomorrow. Wednesday, we got the EIA numbers. Musalim and Barr speaking. We got the FOMC minutes. At least we'll still get those for Wednesday. Then you got Kashkari and Barr speaking. It's a big week of Fed speak. Big week of Fed speak. Powell speaking on Thursday. I don't know if we're going to get the jobless claims. Uh, what else? I mean, this when the government shut down, you get a lot less information, but we will still get consumer sentiment on Friday from Michigan consumer sentiment. So, but a very light week. So far, what's AMD up right now? 30, close to 36% signing a deal. Let's all sign a deal with OpenAI. Uh, Broadcom and Nvidia down on that news. Oh, Intel's got to be up, but then you got Micron. You just go buy it all. Computer hardware. Let's all rally with the deal too. Let's just rally. Oracle up, Palantir of course up. There you go. Tesla up. What else needs to be said? Group screener. Basic materials. Basic materials is actually leading technology. Comm services down a bit. Consumers defensive down a bit. Fed watch still is 95% for the cut in October. Fear and greed in neutral mode. I sure should go to greed today. Schiller PE 4008. Earnings this week. I was thinking last week. I was thinking we were doing banks this week. I didn't check if banks are not this week. They are next week. Uh, we got Constellation Brands after the close. McCormick tomorrow after before the open. The biggest stuff today would be Delta and Pepsi on Thursday. Oh, look, we got Applied Blockchain. Yay. So, thank you, Patrick, for letting me know Twitter, X, and Rumble are all working fine. Good morning, Rick. I mean, this is work. It's so fat. Now, can this keep going? Yeah. Just like it kept going then until it did not. Until it did not. So, let's see if we actually get a pausing bar in the S&P if it doesn't take out Friday's highs. Let's see. We got daily cycles at the top. Overbought. Daily cycles at the top. Will it even matter? Very key support set is 67.50 to 67.55. That's your major support level I'm looking at today. And right below that's the rotation zone coming in about 67.45. So if you want to expand that to 67.45 to 67.55 is a major support zone. Right now, we do have a potential mini. I would not be shorting these, by the way, unless we're getting momentum bars. But it will take something out of the blue for momentum bars. I'll just look at these for the pullback levels. And it would trigger below this 67.55 area. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's just a little mini one. If it takes out the minor harmonic, don't even bother with that. If it takes out the high, the next key thing is 68.21. 68.21 is the next key harmonic level. The mini ones then would be from here to here, which is essentially, look at that. Reinforce. Look at that. You got the cluster right there. 68.21, 68.22, then 68.44. Nothing else needs to be said. That mini double would just take it into rotation zone. That's why, unless there's major momentum, I would not be shorting this thing. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Heinrich. All righty. All righty. So that's it. Any pullbacks still into the holding daily rotation zone. Weekly, still insanely overbought cycles at the top, extended from the weekly rotation zone. At some point, we'll get a correction, or I guess we could get a sideways move. Again, there's no predicting when this kind of mania will end. Here, look at your NASDAQ. There's your weekly on the NASDAQ. There's your monthly on the NASDAQ. But when will it drop? Because we still got the daily rotation zone in the way. So, again, we don't even have the last decent positive. Technically, you got one last Monday, but the last good one was the prior Monday in September. Look at this. Just keeps rocketing higher. 25,277. 25,277. We don't have another pausing bar on a daily basis, so I can't even do pausing projections. So 25,527 is the next key one. We need another pausing bar. You could do one off the 4-hour if you wanted. I mean, it's not as strong as a daily, but it will give us something. So it gives us 25,277 to 25,293. And then we have a minor level at 25,390 and 25,527. I'll update this when we actually get a daily pausing bar. But it gives me at least something to trail with stops when it hits that level. Key support, 25K. That's your major support. You got this spike up, so that really invalidates the double, so we don't have anything, but your major support is 25K, and then you got 24,935 area. So you got a major support zone on any pullback in here. You can see it right there. This is the major support zone. The Dow, again, spiking up on Friday to the key harmonic. I'm just going to delete one, the key harmonic right there. All right. Let's remove a couple of these lines. Uh, if we take out Friday's high, we'll get 47,500 essentially. 47,500. Let's take a look at the weekly right here because we had this pausing bar area, but look at this. We have this pausing we can go to. So that gives us the next major area is 47,955 to 48,124 is the next major harmonics. Okay. Today we start taking out 47,170. I'd be looking for Friday's highs. Again, your key supports back at 46,800 area. Maybe bump that up, but yeah, 46,800. Russell, we do have a potential double top, may never trigger, would be invalidated at 2534.9. So we break out above Friday's highs, 2522, 2535 roughly. Key support, pull off a couple of these old levels here. Just do a little house cleaning. Some house cleaning. There we go. Key support coming in at 2490, 2489 to 2490. Below that, you have the rising daily rotation zone about 2476. So again, pullbacks, you'd have to be super aggressive doing any shorts right now, unless we have momentum. VIX still slightly elevated. Sterling put in some spot gamma stuff. Again, I'm paying attention to the 17 mark, especially on a closing basis. DAX, 24,632, the prior resistance level. We hit it and reversed on Friday. We break above there. It would be 24,750 and then 20. That's technically a still valid level, 24,956. The yields, little flag pullback and bouncing up with cycles still heading up. Watching, I'm going to see, really need to see the yields break above 4.02. They're climbing the short term, but I need to see them break above 402. 30-year testing very key resistance and backing off so far. Need to see it get above this 4.76 on a closing basis. Crude, again, we had a potential percent B buy setup. It ran already to the rotation zone and key resistance. So I don't really care where it closes right now because I'm watching for a stronger bottoming pattern. Because again, we broke on last Thursday below major support, just retested it today. So it either has to base above 61.75 or pull back and form a stronger bottoming pattern for me. Gold just, I mean, come on. We're getting into a mania stage of gold too. And I keep it, gold will never drop. The dollar's getting the base. Gold will never drop. Well, gold and dollar are up. Dollars stopped really going down on a macro level I'm not saying it has not depreciated a lot this year, but it's really finding a strong base and gold is just continuing to run. So there are no short setups yet. Just know where your trailing stops are. We just hit the next minor harmonic cluster. 4K is a magnet price. It's just above there now. 4K to 4,035. Again, it's just like a big magnet price. Insanely overbought. Look at how overbought it is on the weekly basis. Now, does that mean we're going to crash? No, but we can easily, this thing could easily pull back to 3750 without blinking. And let's just take a look at that monthly. I mean, there you go. Just pretend this wasn't gold and this was a stock. What would you eventually be watching for? So, silver, again, hit the next minor harmonic and a little pause. Above there, the magnet price is 50. Getting into some serious, again, we're not getting even proper pausing bars here. We're not even getting, this is how manic these markets are. Just money's pouring into everything with leverage. Be careful because of that. Dollar backing off a bit, but still above very key support. Yes, it looks like this is a potential double top. Let's just check it out. It works from the conservative side. We'll just keep an eye on this. Might be invalidated before it ever, but that would be the only bearish thing to retest the low area. Vertical up, vertical down. Yep. And people say, I get too many people saying it can't happen in gold. Well, be careful with your statement. Not saying it will happen, but if it'll never happen. We'll see. If you get deleveraging and the market starts getting deleveraging in the stock market and everything else, you'll get a lot of deleveraging in gold too. Bitcoin got insane too. Now we're getting to top. Bitcoin 500,000 next stop. All right. We're just getting that mania phase of complete risk on again. By the way, yes, we do have coming up. We do have end of year, but I'm talking to people again. End of year rally is guaranteed. Guaranteed. Go all in, leverage everything for the end of year rally. That is a very risky step. Whenever I hear anything in investing is guaranteed, all right, just saying. Be greedy when people are cautious. Be cautious when people are greedy, especially when it's all in on everything greed. Be cautious. Not saying you can't ride the trends. The trends are up. Just be cautious. Know where your stops are. Ethereum, not broken out to new highs. Spiders, I mean, gap key support down your spiders is back at 670. 670, 135 is where it's trading. If this were to reverse this week for the gap fill is back at 669.21. The next key target 675.38. The double is no longer. The potential double. And again, on any pullback in any of this, you still have to acknowledge the daily rotation zones. And even when we start violating that, because we can pull back here, get a bounce. Can we pull back even to the bigger weekly rotation zone? Yes, that's why I'm not worried. We'll get at some point the correction into the weekly rotation zones, okay? But we'll get a secondary reaction, and that's when we generally get the major key topping patterns. So that's what I'm going to be tracking. Other than that, not much to talk about there. The Qs, little high there. I didn't update that. The Qs, 609.85, 608.29 is the next minor harmonic. 609.85. Key support coming in about 685 to 607. On any key rollover for a gap fill this week, watch Friday's close at 603.18. And between that and the rotation zone about 600, that's their key support level. AI, there's your triggered double bottom Sterling was talking about earlier. Right there. And look at your potential gap fill. So there you go. There you go. Against the weekly rotation zone, so don't ignore 2055. Do not ignore 2055 if you're playing XAI. Is there a confirmed monthly double bottom in Toyota? That is very ugly. I would not do not trade that as a double. Just if you get a close, I'd be watching this key close at 195. It's gonna still gap up. I'd want a weekly close above there. I just use your harmonic targets 205 and then 217, and you do have a gap up behind there. Just use those. Just use your harmonics. Don't bother with the double targets on that. All right. Okay. What about Tesla? What is those? Those are Thursday, Friday, 2-day reversal into the weekly rotation zone, setting up a potential percent beat buy above Friday's high. 446.77. So, again, in the incredible toppy area with major divergences. So, extended from the weekly rotation zone. The only thing, if we start breaking below 410, it would be a potential really quick short that I'd look at. Other than that, I'm watching for a more substantial topping pattern. Here's your AMD. How far do I have to zoom out? Zoom, zoom to the moon. Look at that. Back to March potential highs on unbooked revenue. Oh boy. If it does keep going, what do we do, everyone? What do we do? We do the reverse harmonics. Here you go. That's how you do it. So, trading 226, if this takes out, if we have the mania kind of oracle thing from weeks ago where you get the run, you got 246's next key harmonic. All right. Boy, that's going to be a doozy gap when that one fills. That is going to be a doozy gap when that one fills, isn't it? Just when you think the insanity can't go on any longer, it's going to go on longer. There are Meta technically did trigger. Yes, the double top. Meta did trigger the double top. So targets are 687 roughly, 669, 652 area. And it's below the key support. So Meta did trigger the weekly on a weekly basis and on a daily basis. There is a mini potential double bottom here for a bounce play, but other than that, I'd really be focused on this 670 area. Let's see if this can. I would not also be surprised to get a little bounce setting up first. This is a weekly pattern, so this could take a while to unfold. But that's where it sits. Yes, that is a triggered weekly double top pattern. CVS is a 50 interesting chart is at the 50% retracement as it set up some daily divergences and very oversold on the weekly. I've not looked at CVS in a while. It's very. You mean it's at the 50% retracement as it set up some daily divergences, very oversold on the weekly? Wouldn't you mean overbought on the weekly? Because this would be over. I think that was a typo because it's at the 50% at the 200 week, very overbought. And this would be a major rollover zone. Is there a top pattern trigger? Well, this is not a double top. Yes, okay. That's what I thought you meant, Sterling. Again, there's not a great short setup, though, besides just a quick little scalp, possibly. I mean, you're right at here. There's a lot of stuff in the way without a key topping pattern. And that would be scalpy for a short. Other than that, I wouldn't be long at it at this point, but I'd be watching for the pullback into the rotation zone. UNH. The double, yeah, we're actually long this. UNH triggered the double, and now is, I mean, I'm still watching for the bounce play. This is why I was patient. We came down to 87.5. It did trigger a percent B buy here, and then it's triggered the double. Little pullback and hit the first target. So I'm really watching for this to reconnect with the weekly 50 and the daily 200 area. We still have a gap behind two. This gap down. So yeah, there we go. All right. I'm glad the live stream worked today, so we should be good to go on this new computer. That's really about it. I mean, going into the open, I'm paying attention to 67.75 to about 67.78 is key support. On any break above about 67.90, I'm watching for the return to the high areas on Friday. We already covered the harmonics if it breaks higher. If you needed minor harmonics, these would be valid. Those would be valid if it does break to above Friday's highs for today. It would be 68.05, 68.06, and then 68.11, 68.12 area. Again, we got a lot of key support down here, and you got the 4-hour rotation zone on the pullbacks, which were caught on Thursday and Friday. With that, I hope everyone has a wonderful trading day and a wonderful trading week, and I will be back tomorrow. Talk to everyone later. Bye for now.